Now we'll talk about daily routine. What do you know about daily routine? Daily routine are actions that happen every day without change. They are the same from day to day. Like what? You get up at 6 o'clock, wash your face, brush your teeth, and go to school. This is an example for daily routine. Now open page 14. Here there is a short story that shows us Noor's daily routine. I will read and you should follow me. Each morning starts the same way. My alarm clock rings. I wake up, I get dressed, I brush my teeth and my hair. Grandma makes me breakfast. Sometimes Grandma lets me choose what to eat. Next, my sister and I walk to school. My sister walks me to my classroom. I put away my school bag. I wonder what I will learn. We eat lunch in the afternoon. Once school ends, I go home. I do my homework first, then I get to choose what to do. Sometimes I read, sometimes I play with my friends. In the evening, my family eats dinner. After dinner, we get ready for bed. Mom reads me a story. I can't wait for another exciting day. Now open page 15. Here we'll discuss the bar graph. What is the bar graph? It's a chart that shows data using bars. Why we use bar graphs? We use it to compare number of different data. It makes the information easier. We use it to compare things of different groups. Now, in page 15, we'll have an activity. This activity to show us what is the meaning of the graph. First, we'll go under the food column and write chicken and beef. Then under clothing, you will write dress and trousers. Under work, you will write doing homework or cleaning your room. Under entertainment, you will write going to the club or watching TV. The activity is, you will choose the first column, food, and go to your family members and ask them what do they prefer, chicken or beef. If 3 chose chicken and 2 chose beef, then chicken is the most. So we'll shade according to chicken, 3. Then we'll move to the second column, clothing. Here we'll go and ask our family members, what do they prefer, dress or trousers? If 4 chose dress and 6 chose trousers, we will shade according to the most, which is trousers. So we'll see number 6 and shade till it. Then the next column is work. Here we'll go and ask our family members what do they prefer, cleaning room or doing homework. If 3 chose cleaning room and 7 chose doing homework, so doing homework is the most, so we'll shade according to doing homework. The last column is entertainment. Here we'll go and ask our family members what do they prefer, going to the club or watching TV. If 7 chose going to the club and 9 chose watching TV, so watching TV is the most and we'll shade according to watching TV. Okay, Junior 2. Now open page 16. Here in page 16, as you see, we are going to talk about the clock. First, let me ask you, why we need the clocks in our life? We need the clocks in our life because it tells us the time. We need to know the time to organize our day and to make schedules for the things that we must do. We have two types of clocks. The first type is analog clock. This one is called an analog clock. In the analog clocks, we have two arms, short arm and long arm. The short arm tells us the hour. The long arm tells us the minutes. In the analog clock, we read the minutes, then we read the hour. So we look at the long arm, then we look at the short arm. Here the example we have, the long arm is looking at 6, which means half. And the short arm is looking at 11, which means that the hour is 11. So how we write it? We write it like this. Half past 11. Then we have another example for the analog clock. This one. Here, Junior 2. As we said, to read the analog clock, we should first look at the long arm to tell us the minutes. Here, the long arm is pointing at 12, which means that it is 0 minutes. Then we look to the short arm to tell us the hour. Here, the short arm is looking at 2, which means that the hour is 2. So how we say it? We say it like it's 2 o'clock. Okay? Then the last example we have for the analog clock is this clock. Here, as you see, the long arm is looking at 3, which means quarter. And the short arm is looking at 10, which means that the hour is 10. So this clock is quarter past 10. After we talked about the first type of clocks, which is the analog clocks, now we will talk about the second type of clocks, which is the digital clock. This one is called a digital clock. Where we can find the digital clocks? We can find it in our mobile and in our computer. How can we read it? In the digital clock, we read the hour, then we read the minutes. For example, here, it's 12:45. Then the last example for the digital clock is this one. As we said before, that we read the hours, then we read minutes. Here, it's 8:30. 8 is the hour, 30 minutes. Then we have another example for the digital clock. This one. As we said that in the digital clock we read the hour, then minutes. Here it's 1 the hour and 0 minutes, so it's 1 o'clock. Here in this empty clock we will draw the clock that we get up in. For me, I get up at 5:30. So I draw the long arm looking at 6 because this is half, and the short arm looking at 5 because this is the hour. Then move to page 17. This is a class activity. Do it in the class. Now turn to page 19. In page 19, we are going to talk about priorities. What are priorities? Priorities are actions that we must do. Like what? Like going to school, eating, studying, doing our homeworks. All of these are priorities. Here in page 19, the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to write the meaning of priorities. As we said, priorities are actions that we must do. So we will write in this box the meaning. Actions that we must do. Now, in the same page, we have two boxes, as you see. The first box is actions that we must do, and those actions we call them priorities, as we said. And actions that we want to do. Actions we want to do, we can skip them if we don't have time. But priorities or actions that we must do, we cannot skip them. Okay? Let's take some examples for actions that we must do. Like what? Like eating. We should eat to grow, right? Also, going to school. We must go to school to learn. What else? Also, doing our homework, right? We should do our homework. So, those actions are actions that we must do. We cannot skip them, okay? Now, for actions that we want to do, like what? Like watching TV. If we don't have time, we can skip watching TV, right? Playing with a toy or playing a game. Playing with a toy. We may skip it. Also, going to the club.